Okay, picture this. You see a beautiful dog in public, maybe in a coffee shop or a grocery store, and your first instinct is just reach out for a friendly pat. But wait, that dog is wearing a vest. Today, we're going to dive into why that simple, totally well-meaning impulse is something you absolutely have to resist when you see a service dog. I mean, it seems so harmless, right? What's the big deal? Well, as we're about to see, that one little action can have some pretty serious, even dangerous consequences. And to really get why, we first have to completely change how we see these amazing animals.
So, here's the first and most important step. It's a mental shift. We need to stop seeing a service animal as just a pet that gets a special pass to be in public and start seeing them for what they really are, a working professional on the clock.
That's exactly right. Think of a service dog less like a pet and more like a piece of living, breathing medical equipment. I mean, it's just as vital as a wheelchair or an oxygen tank. They're performing these incredibly specific tasks that are absolutely essential for their handler's safety and independence, and that requires total, unbroken focus.
So, what officially separates a service animal from any other dog out there? It's not just about being well-behaved, you know? The definition is actually very specific, and it comes straight from the Americans with Disabilities Act, the ADA. Let's take a look at what the law actually says.
What's really interesting here is how precise this language is. The key phrases are individually trained and do work or perform tasks. See, it's not about providing comfort just by being there. It's about taking specific, trained actions that are directly related to a person's disability.
And these examples really hammer home what work or tasks means in the real world. We are not just talking about fetching something. A service dog might literally smell a chemical change in their handler's body before a diabetic crisis hits, or physically block a child with autism from running into a busy street. These are life-saving skills that demand constant, unwavering concentration.
This is probably one of the biggest points of confusion for the public, so let's just clear it up right now. An emotional support animal provides comfort simply by being there, which is wonderful, but a service animal, under the ADA's definition, must be trained to perform an active task. Because of that key difference, emotional support animals don't have the same legal rights to public access as service animals do.
Okay, here's another super common assumption. We see a dog in a vest, we automatically think, oh, service dog. But is that vest legally required? What do you think? And there's your answer, straight from the source. A vest is a really helpful signal to the public. It's like a clear "I'm working" sign, but it is absolutely not a legal requirement. A person with a service dog can't be denied access just because their dog isn't wearing one. Now this one surprises a lot of people. The ADA actually gives people with disabilities the right to train their own dogs. And all those certificates or registrations you see for sale online, the Department of Justice does not recognize them as proof that a dog is a service animal. So asking someone for their dog's papers is a definite no-go. Okay, so we've established what a service dog is, and maybe just as importantly, what it isn't. Now let's tie all of this back to that simple pat on the head. Why is distracting them so incredibly dangerous? It really boils down to this one crucial point. Any interaction, talking to the dog, making kissy noises, offering it food or petting it, it breaks their concentration. You are, in that moment, pulling a professional off their job. And in this line of work, that can have immediate and severe consequences. The stakes here are just incredibly high. That moment you spend distracting the dog could be the exact moment it was supposed to alert its handler to an oncoming seizure. It could be the moment the dog fails to brace itself properly, causing its handler to fall and get injured. A moment's distraction is never, ever just a moment. All right, so we know what not to do. That's clear. But what are the rules for a respectful and legal interaction? Well, the ADA is actually very clear on this, and it gives us a really simple framework for both the public and for employees at businesses. So, if it's not totally obvious that a dog is a service animal, staff at a business are legally allowed to ask these two questions. That's it, only these two. It's a simple, direct way to figure out if the dog is legit without getting into the handler's private medical information. And this part is just as important. You cannot ask for any kind of paperwork. You cannot ask what the person's disability is. And you absolutely, positively cannot ask them to make the dog perform its task for you as some kind of proof. These are bright red lines under the ADA. For the general public, it's even simpler. Just think of it this way. Address the human, not their medical equipment. So ignore the dog and speak directly to the handler if you need to. Don't pet, don't feed, don't distract. Keep your distance, keep your own pets away, and please remember, so many disabilities are completely invisible.
Whew! All right, we've covered a lot of ground. So let's boil it all down. What's the essential shift in perspective that we all need to make when we see a service dog?
This slide really says it all, doesn't it? The journey is from seeing a cute pet to understanding you're looking at a vital piece of medical equipment. It's moving from seeing a friendly companion to respecting a trained professional. And it's knowing that those vests are helpful cues, not legal requirements.
And of course, with these rights come responsibilities. The handler has to have their dog under control at all times, whether that's with a leash, a harness, or just voice commands. The dog also has to be housebroken. These rules make sure that service animals can be integrated into public life safely and cleanly.
You know, ultimately, this is what it all comes down to. When you ignore a service dog, what you're really doing is giving its handler the respect and the space they need to live their life. You are actively contributing to their safety and their independence. Your restraint is a true sign of respect.
So, the next time you see that beautiful, incredibly well-behaved dog working, you'll know exactly what to do. Admire them from a distance and just respect the incredible job that they're doing. By simply choosing not to interact, you really do help create a safer, more welcoming world for everyone.